and welcome to my vlog Sew Amelia, where I talk about making a handmade wardrobe for me and my children. Thanks for joining me in this week's video where I'm going to talk about what my plans are for my sewing in August. If you're a subscriber, you'll know that I didn't publish a video last week, and that's because my family and I were on holiday in the countryside. It was just so nice to get away, and the children had such a lovely time playing with their cousins. If you aren't a subscriber, it would be great if you would click on that subscribe button and hit the bell so that you'll be notified when I do publish future vlogs. So I thought I'd start today's vlog by just sharing what I'm wearing. This is the Untitled Thoughts Amelie dress. It comes as a dress and you can make it as a skirt as well. It has two different back options. There's a fully open back and then there is the bra friendly open back. I made the bra friendly open back and I also made the knee length dress. There's a T-length skirt as well which has a centre front seam. But the stripe fabric that I chose from Elephant in my handbag was such fun that I didn't want to break it up with a centre seam. So I chose to make the knee length skirt. I really enjoyed the way that this striped fabric allowed me to play with the stripes a little bit in terms of their placement on the dress, and I really liked the way that the darts in the front bodice turned out with that striped fabric. It's a lot of fun to wear and very nice and breezy for a hot summer's day. This was one of the first garments I made myself when I started getting back into garment sewing about 2 years ago, and it is an intermediate pattern, so it was probably a little bit adventurous for me to start with for a first go back into sewing. I did find it quite tricky to sew up in terms of the fitting. I'm now getting much better at fitting my body because often my bust, waist and hips do fall across 3 sizes, but for a first go back into sewing this was a bit of an adventure. But it is a lovely pattern to sew up. It was definitely well worth the effort and I really enjoy wearing it. I should say that the Untitled Thoughts Amelie does come in sizes 1 to 16 and those are her specific sizes, but size 1 is a bust of 33 inches, a waist of 24 inches and hips of 34 inches, and size 16 is a bust of 56 inches, a waist of 50 inches and hips of 58 inches. It's a lot of fun to sew and I can definitely recommend it. The first pattern I'd like to get sewn up in August is the Manuka Skirt by Below the Kowhai. Now, Below the Kowhai is a New Zealand pattern company, and so it's one that I really enjoy using for my makes because of my association with New Zealand being a New Zealander. I've made their tui pinafore for my daughter a few times and their Cody dress for her as well, and they are both lovely children's patterns, so do go and have a look at her website. But the Manuka Skirt is a very simple gathered skirt. It has a flat fronted waistband which is really flattering, and it has 2 different types of pockets. Now the pockets are brilliant, they are such deep lovely pockets. The skirt that I'm going to make is the version where you can see the pocket seams on the front, but there are also inseam pockets and those are great too. I have made a previous version with inseam pockets. Now I like the way it has the flat fronted waistband and it has elastic gathering at the waist because it makes it very comfortable to wear, and you can also get the fit just right. Again, because my waist and hips fall into different measurement bands, I can make sure that the fit is perfect for me. The fabric that I'm going to use is the fabric that I got in July's Sew Hayley Jane box, and it's this cotton poplin with sailboats on it. Now as soon as I saw this I knew I wanted to use it for a dress for my daughter, which I'll be sharing in next week's videos in my August make, so do pop back and see that one. But I also wanted to make something for myself because there was quite a lot of fabric left over. You get 2.5 meters of the fabric in the classic subscription box, so I do have plenty left over for myself. So I'm going to make the Manuka skirt, and like I said I want to make the version with the waistband pockets, which is a lovely feature, and I want to use some red piping so that I can really draw attention to those waistband pockets. The other thing on this Manuka skirt is that there's a lovely faux button band down the front. Obviously you don't need buttons on the skirt because you can get in and out of it very easily with the elastic on the back, but I want to use the piping on the faux button band on the front as I think that will look really nice. And I've chosen some really pretty silver seashell buttons from the Swagman's daughter, and they are on the way to me right now so that I can put those down that faux button band. The Manuka skirt comes in sizes 6 to 22. Size 6 is a waist of 27.5 inches and it goes up to size 22, which is a waist of 43.25 inches. Now obviously those sizes can be quite generous because you can loosen or tighten that elastic across the back waistband as much or as little as you like. My waist measurement is 30 inches. Now a size 8 is 29.5 inches and a size 10 is 31 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the size 10 because I think that will give me more of an A-line flare across my hips, and I'll just use the elastic in the waistband to tighten that up around my waist. So my second make may seem a little unseasonal. I did make a couple of Marlowe cardigans back in the winter, but I would really like another me-made jumper to be able to wear in the evenings when it's a bit cooler and on those windy, rainy days when you just want to snuggle up, even in the summer. So what I'm going to make is the Billie jumper. Now, for those of you who saw my fabric haul video, you will have seen that I bought this beautiful Atelier Brunette Neroli Night sweatshirting from Sewsfaction. So it's this one here, and I absolutely love that fabric. I think it will be a really nice sweatshirt. It's a lovely soft sweatshirting. It's not too thick, so I think it will be just a nice extra layer without being too heavy. And I bought the matching ribbing from Guthrie Ghani. Sewsfaction didn't have any, unfortunately, but I did find some at Guthrie Ghani. And it is the Atelier Brunette ribbing, and I chose to use that just because I knew it would match perfectly. And at the moment, when we can't easily get to fabric shops, it's kind of helpful to know that your ribbing is going to match. Now, initially I thought I would quite like to try a new sweatshirt pattern, so either the Grain Line Linden or the Megan Nielsen Jarrah sweatshirt, and a lot of you in the comments gave me some really helpful tips about fitting those patterns and some other sweatshirt patterns that I hadn't heard of before, and it was really great looking at all of those. But in the end, I just decided that I had bought a few fabrics recently, so I thought I would just save this month and use something that I had. I've made the Billie sweatshirt dress a couple of times, but I've never made the sweatshirt, so I'm looking forward to giving that a try. I'm going to use the view which is the sweatshirt view with just the plain sleeves. I'm not going to do the balloon sleeves this time. I just want quite a simple, cozy, fitted-ish sweater. Now, the last time I made this, I made it in a size 2 over the bust, grading out to a size 3 at the waist and a size 4 at the hips. So I'll just use the pattern pieces that I have previously graded out for the dress because I know that that fits me really well, and I'll obviously use the cutting line to cut it off at the waist, and then I'll add the ribbing using that particular pattern piece. Now, the Billie sweatshirt is one of the patterns that Tilly has recently released in her new size band. The first size band is sizes 6 to 24, and the next size band is size 16 to 34. So that means that the pattern goes from a size 6, which is a bust of 30 inches, up to a size 34, which is a bust of 60 inches. So it's a much more inclusive pattern now, which is great. I believe you can get the Billie pattern in the first size band as a paper pattern, and you can get both size bands as a PDF pattern on her website. So yes, I'll be making the Tilly in the Button size 2, graded to a 3, graded to a 4. It wasn't too much trouble to grade that pattern at all, and I think it will be quite a quick and satisfying one to make. My third pattern that I'd like to make this month is the Forget Me Not Iris Tee. Now, just being off on the summer holidays with my children, I've realised I do need a few more casual t-shirts to go with my jeans and things when we're on a day out. And I thought the Iris Tee from Forget Me Not Patterns looked beautiful with the little pleats on the shoulder. I thought they looked like such a lovely feature. And when I bought the ribbing from Guthrie Ghani, I saw this Tencel modal jersey. Now, it's called Blossom Sprigs, and I'll link it below, and I just think it's so pretty, and I think it will make a really nice Iris tee. Now, Forget Me Not Patterns say that their pattern is designed for an averagely curvy figure with a B-cup bust, and it goes from size 28, which is a bust of 28 inches, a waist of 21.5 inches, and hips of 32.5 inches, to a size 48, which is a bust of 48.5 inches, a waist of 41.5 inches, and hips of 52.5 inches. They also include bicep measurements in their finished measurements, which I found really helpful because I definitely have larger upper arms, and sometimes I do need to make a bigger sleeve than I do the bodice part of a t-shirt, so I found that really helpful. Actually, on this one I don't need to size up, but it was really nice to have those measurements included so that I could check the fit before I cut out the pattern pieces. So I think I'm going to make a size 36 on that one, and I'm going to grade out to the 38 over the hip, as that's where my measurements place me. So we'll see what that one is like. Now, my fourth plan is one I'm a little bit apprehensive about, but it's one that I really need. We're going away on a family holiday, and we're hoping to get some swimming in the sea while we're there. It's meant to be a nice hot week whilst we're away, and I don't really have a swimsuit that fits. Again, with a smaller top half and a larger bottom half, it's really hard buying swimsuits that fit my bottom and my top. I've usually waited till there's a sale and that there are odds and ends of different swimsuits around and just bought 2 different sizes. but it's not the best and you don't always get the patterns that you really like. So I've decided this month that I'm going to have a go at making the Helen's Closet Sandpiper swimsuit. Now the pattern says that it's a great pattern for those getting started with swimwear, so that's good. And I've heard great things about Helen's Closet patterns and their instructions, so I'm hoping that it will be a great introduction to sewing swimwear. I'm a little bit nervous, so we'll see how it goes. Now the Sandpiper swimsuit is a great inclusive pattern in terms of sizing. It comes in sizes 0 to 34, which is up to a 62-inch chest and hip. There are B cup options and there are D cup options. So the B cup is sizes 0 to 22, the D cup is from sizes 12 to 34. Now there are two different options. There is the view with the high-waisted bottoms and there is the view with the low-rise bottoms. There is also the view with the top, which has a wide band across the bust line, and then the slimmer band across the baseline, the bust line. So I'm going to make view A with the fuller briefs and with the smaller line across the bust. I really like this pattern because, as well as making a swimsuit, Helen has said you can use the top as a crop top or as sort of an activewear top, so I think it will be a really useful pattern to have in my stash. So I found this fabric on a website that's new to me and it's called Little Legs Fabric. And it's this one here. It's such a fun print. It's a rainbow leopard print swimwear fabric and I'm really excited to use this as a wearable toile. I've got some amazing fabric coming from Sew Me Sunshine, and that's going to be the final version if I have time to sew it up before my holiday. But if I don't, I'm hoping this will be a great wearable toile and that I can get lots of wear out of this at the beach. I also bought some power mesh from Little Legs Fabric. They had this in, I got it in the nude. I think they also had it in like white and grey and black. I'll link it below in case that's helpful. But I bought that as the pattern said that it was great in terms of providing some more support, which I thought might be good. That's the last plan I have for myself. The children are on their summer holidays, as you know, so my sewing time is somewhat limited at the moment. And if I can get through those 4 patterns, I think I will have been doing quite well. Especially because my next plan for my daughter is going to be rather labour intensive. Each year for her birthday, I really like to make her a smocked dress. Now, she's only had one birthday, I know. But I so enjoyed doing that for her last year and I really want to make that a yearly tradition. So I've bought this fabric, and I did show this before, and it's this beautiful Liberty Tana lawn. I just think that's so beautiful. And I'm going to make her the Lee dress by Children's Corner Patterns, and it's just a simple smocked yoke dress with a lovely Peter Pan collar and ties at the waist. I'm going to make that in a size 3. Now the pattern itself comes in a 6-month size to a 3-year-old size. Now she does fit more into the 2-year-old measurements, which is perfect as she's about to turn 2. But I have found that if I size up, I can get more wear out of each dress, and when you're smocking a dress, it's nice to have them wear it for as long as possible. So what I've done on her previous dresses is I have sized up, and I have just made a really deep hem, and then I've let that down the following summer so that she can wear it again. And the ties at the waist just help to cinch it in a little bit when she's little, and you can obviously let the ties out as they get older. So I will be making this in a size 3. I cut that out quite a while ago, but I was really disappointed with the smocking that I had done on that. I'm very much self-taught. My mother very kindly gave me her reed pleater, so that's lovely. But I'm learning as I go, and whilst YouTube is helpful, I just needed a bit more guidance on this one. So I signed up for Gail Doan's smocking workshop, and I'll link that below because it has been so helpful. She gives such detailed instructions and lots of close-ups so you can really see how to smock and how to pleat your fabric really well. And I'm really thrilled. I have repleated my fabric. I have yet to start the smocking, but I'll get onto that this week, and I'm much more happy with how that's coming together. So I'm going to have to work quite hard to get that dress finished in time for her birthday in September, but I'm pretty determined that I'm going to finish that one on time. So I hope you enjoyed hearing about those plans for this month. Do let me know what you're sewing this month in the comments below. It's always so much fun hearing from you and chatting with you in the comments, and I found out so many new and different patterns that I'd love to try from your comments. So thanks for sharing. Thanks for watching again this week. I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay safe, stay happy, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye bye!